Welcome to the Trade Talk Showcase. I'm Larry Lee with Brownfield, and Gary Schmitz joins us from BASF today. A lot of talk this year about dicamba, some new rules, new products. First of all, let's go into the BASF line a bit. Tell us what farmers need to know about these products going into 2021.
Okay, sure. Great question. Well, first, farmers are very excited on the fact that Ignea was re-registered by the EPA. This is a new tool, new mode of action that they haven't had for very long, and they needed to help manage resistant weeds. Okay, so they've really grown in the last decade. And so this is a new mode of action in soybeans and cotton where they can manage these resistant weeds. So some of the new enhancements with the label will include, we've streamlined it. It's now only for dicamba tolerant soybeans and cotton. We don't have the conventional crops. We don't have the non-crop uses. It's streamlined. We also have, it's changed the label from a cutoff date to where previously it was about staging the crop to say this is when you shut it off. This will make it much easier for the grower when they're planning on their application, because they know the cutoff date is June 30th for soybeans and July 30th for cotton, so they can plan those applications better. There's a requirement to use a pH buffer adjuvant in the dicamba spray solution. BASF is bringing Centris buffer adjuvant into the marketplace, and that will raise the pH, it will stabilize the pH, and that will help further reduce the volatility that's sometimes associated with those tank mixtures that go into it. And then lastly, the downwind buffers, the distance has been increased for those sensitive areas. So it went from 110 feet to 210 feet in the non-endangered species counties, or 240 feet in the non-endangered species counties. And then it's increased to 310 feet in the endangered species counties.
This new buffer that you're bringing onto the market, is that different than other buffers, or does it specifically go with the Ignea product? How does that work?
Well, it's different than most of them on the marketplace, but we're going to have the Centris buffering adjuvant labeled for Ignea. We're also working with the other manufacturers to get it registered to be able to use with those other dicamba products. And then it's not exclusive. We will try to have registration and approval for our competitors' buffering agents and other third-party buffering agents if they meet the criteria set by the EPA.
As you look back on 2020's growing season, a lot of chaos early on when the dicamba products were taken off the market and then allowed to continue use of what's in stock. For those that got their products on the fields, how did the performance of Ignea work this year?
Well, the growers are very satisfied with the performance of Ignea. In fact, a recent survey showed that nearly 4 out of 5 growers that used Ignea were highly satisfied with the product and how it managed their weeds. So, you know, that situation, they really like the tool, and it's very important for them.
Are there some big differences between Ignea and some of the other products, and should the growers be rotating around them to, help take care of that resistance issue?
Yeah, so we do recommend that growers use multiple modes of action to help break up that cycle of using just one product. We recommend that they use residuals both pre and post emerge. And currently with all the different trait technologies out there, they can rotate their trait technologies, whether they want to use a Liberty type system or a 2,4-D system, along with conventional and the dicamba tolerant systems.
There's been some research the last couple of years about getting those soybeans in early as possible. And I would imagine that helps because you get a good pre-plan going. The soybeans will outcompete the weeds, and maybe that'll take some of the pressure off of that later time period for application of dicamba.
Yeah, that's a great comment, because the research has shown that earlier planted soybeans tend to yield more. And so growers have moved, pretty much across the country to earlier planting dates. And, with cutoff dates on the dicamba application, obviously an earlier planted soybean, you'll have more time to put out those dicamba applications. And Ignea is registered both, pre-plant, pre-emerge, and post-emerge. So if they're in no-till, they'll have that opportunity to use it, from a burn down perspective, or even a pre-emerge in conventional till because of the residual that it provides. And then of course they have the post-emerge options too.
Well, the growers who want to find out more about the Enlist platform, the new buffer that's coming out, who should they call? Where should they go?
All right, well, growers can go to our website, ingeniastewardship.com, to learn more about Ignea, the dicamba system, and the Centris buffering adjuvant.
Anything you'd like to add today?
Yeah, well, we're just excited that this new tool is available for growers. Ignea herbicide is going to be a very important part of their herbicide program.
Dr. Gary Schmitz from BASF joining us on Trade Talk Showcase. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
2, 1. Gary, if growers have any questions about the product or the new buffer, I'm going to start that over again. Gary, if the growers have questions about the product or the new buffer, where should they go and who should they call?
Well, if growers have more questions about Ignea or the Centris buffering adjuvant, they can go to ingeniastewardship.com. And there's a lot of material on there, a lot more information on how to use Ignea properly and the Centris buffering adjuvant, or they can talk to a local BASF rep.
Anything you'd like to add today?
Yeah, we're excited that Ignea got the registration. It's a 5-year registration. We believe that the enhancements are going to help further reduce off-target movement, and this is a great tool that growers need to help manage their resistant weeds.
Dr. Gary Schmitz from BASF joining us on Trade Talk Showcase. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.